Our film starts in the city of Taiwan, where we see a girl named Lucy standing with her boyfriend Richard. He convinces her to enter the hotel in front of which they're standing and deliver a suitcase to a man named Mr. Chang in the hotel. He offers her $5,000 if she does so, but she refuses because she doesn't know the contents of the suitcase and she also has an exam to attend. Lucy is surprised that Richard himself doesn't deliver the suitcase, so he makes up excuses, telling her that he can because he has problems with that man. Despite the excuses, Lucy still refuses. Before leaving, Richard forcibly places the suitcase in her hands with iron handcuffs, causing anger in Lucy. Richard informs her that Mr. Chang is the only one with the key to these handcuffs and she has no choice but to deliver it to him. Reluctantly, Lucy enters the hotel with the suitcase in her hands. When she asks the receptionist about Mr. Chang's room, he talks on the phone and Mr. Chang insists that he knows her name. Lucy, tense, tells him her name, and as she looks at the hotel door, she sees Richard waiting for her with a smile. Suddenly, he is engulfed in flames and dies, causing Lucy to collapse. Afterward, a gang emerges from the elevator and takes her to a strange room in the hotel where there are dead bodies. This room turns out to be Mr. Chang's office. Suddenly, Chang appears with bloodied hands wearing protective glasses. Lucy asks him in English, but he doesn't care and speaks through a translator. Lucy tells the translator, devastated, to tell Chang that she has no idea and doesn't have any interest. Chang responds saying he wants to know the contents of the suitcase, but she doesn't know, and she tells him that Richard was supposed to deliver it. Suddenly, Richard hands her a piece of paper with the number 140 on it, and she doesn't understand. The translator explains that it's the secret code for the suitcase. Nervously, Lucy opens the suitcase to find blue crystal powder. Chang brings a man to smell the powder, and as soon as he sniffs it, he convulses and laughs hysterically. Chang gets angry at what the man did and shoots him with his gun. Afterward, Chang offers Lucy a job, but she rejects it. One of Chang's men hits her. Later, we attend a lecture by a doctor named Norman, who talks about the mind and mentions that living beings use only a small part of their mental abilities. He gives examples saying that humans use only 15% of their mental capabilities, while dolphins can use 20%. Next, we see Lucy waking up on a bed and finding a screen wrapped around her stomach. So, Lucy is given clothes to wear before meeting Chang, and a foreign man appears informing Lucy that she and the three men next to her have a type of drug implanted in their stomachs. This drug is unlike any other in history, and Chang intends to use Lucy and the others to smuggle these drugs. Returning to the lecture, Norman discusses living things, mentioning that they sometimes choose either immortality or reproduction. If the being is uncomfortable in its environment, it chooses immortality to avoid extinction. If it's comfortable, it chooses reproduction to spread. Later, Lucy is seen tied to a chair with chains. One of the gang members becomes angry and violently hits her in the abdomen, causing the drug-containing sac inside her to rupture. The blue substance spreads in Lucy's blood and her nervous system starts to react against gravity. It's revealed she can now use 20% of her mental abilities. Normal explains that a living being with over 30% mental capacity can control its body and surrounding organisms. If it exceeds 70%, it can control both organisms and tangible matter. During a question and answer, someone asked what would happen if someone used 100% of their mental capacity. Norman struggles to imagine the consequences as it's an extremely complex scenario. Cutting back to Lucy, who, now enhanced, attacks a gang member who enters her cell and effortlessly defeats him. She then kills the remaining gang members while they're eating, consuming their food instantly. Afterward, Lucy removes a bullet from her body without feeling any pain. She gathers weapons and takes a taxi with an English-speaking driver, killing the driver's Chinese-speaking partner. Lucy's senses evolve to the point where she can hear people from a distance. She arrives at a hospital where she can read Chinese easily. In the operating room, she kills a surgeon who had administered the drugs and asks another doctor for help in removing the remaining substances from her body. The doctor performs the operation without anesthesia. Lucy then calls her mother, explaining her heightened senses and expressing love before hanging up. The doctor removes the drug sac and is astonished at how Lucy has been living with it. Leaving the hospital, Lucy heads to the hotel to confront Chang. At this point, Chang is getting a new tattoo on his hand. Upon entering, Lucy kills all the remaining gang members and confronts Chang, stabbing needles into his hand to read his thoughts. After learning the locations of the three men similar to her, she leaves him and walks away. The next day, Lucy goes to her friend Caroline's place to use her laptop. She quickly searches and reads all of Dr. Noman's research in seconds. Afterward, she calls him, leaving him amazed that she could read all his research so quickly. Lucy explains her current situation and her control over household devices. They agree to meet within the next 24 hours. Before leaving her friend's house, Lucy prints a prescription for Caroline as her kidneys and liver are showing signs of fatigue. Lucy advises her to make some lifestyle changes. At the same time, news about Lucy surfaces due to her killing a patient in the hospital's operating room. Lucy undergoes a transformation, changing her appearance completely. She heads to the airport speaking to a French officer named Del Rio to report the three men with drugs implanted in their stomachs. Del Rio is shocked that Lucy knows so much despite the absence of cameras. As Lucy's mental capacity reaches 40%, she boards a plane, opens 2 laptops, and rapidly types on them, astounding the passengers. She ignores a flight attendant's warning to turn off the devices but asks for a cup of coffee. Reaching 60% mental capacity, Lucy experiences physical changes and her control over her surroundings intensifies. As she reaches 50%, her hands turn black and she absorbs energy from nearby devices. Suddenly, Lucy explodes, reaching 70% mental capacity at once. She wakes up in a hospital surrounded by armed individuals. With a simple gesture, Lucy makes everyone lose consciousness except for Officer Del Rio. Lucy uses her abilities to deflect bullets and escapes with Del Rio. They attempt to locate the drug smugglers together. Meanwhile, Chang seeks revenge on Lucy and the gang attacks the university, creating chaos. Lucy hands Norman a blue substance to turn him into a liquid and injects it into her bloodstream, boosting her mental capacity to 90%. Suddenly, Lucy's hand turns black and she absorbs everything in the room, creating a powerful computer with her body. The police face Chang and his gang, and Lucy, now at 90%, appears in different eras, witnessing various events. As her body turns completely black, Lucy reaches 95% mental capacity. In a confrontation with Chang, Lucy vanishes, leaving only her clothes and boots. Del Rio questions Norman about Lucy's whereabouts, and Norman receives a message from Lucy stating that she is everywhere. Del Rio, realizing the complexity of life, separates from Chang and hears Lucy's voice, suggesting that humans now have the choice to determine their path in life. And that's the end of our movie. Thanks so much for making it this far. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what you want the next movie to be. Peace out!